What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I want to discuss what Senator Joe Manchin's priority list is because he gave us this list this morning. I also want to give you a little bit of a stimulus update there because we got some news from Senator Joe Manchin himself as to what he's looking forward to moving forward. Got some news on oil prices because oil prices are set to spike. Okay, so I got some updates on that. Also, if you think, just like I do, that oil prices are going to continue to go up, then you need to do one thing to somewhat preserve some money. Also got some daily news as well, so let's get right into it. Now, hopefully you guys have had an incredible weekend so far, but let's get into the news, all right? And if you can do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. It really does help out the channel. Now, this Friday, March 11th, at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Congress will have to have a government funding bill passed. If they don't, the government would shut down. Okay? Now, this is a very tricky situation that Congress has put themselves into, especially at this moment, because currently Senate Republicans are actually balking at the idea of adding any COVID relief to the bill. And keep this in mind. Here's what's happening. There's an omnibus bill for the government, funding, right? There's that bill. And then on top of that bill, Congress or the Biden administration wants to add $32.5 billion right on top of it. Okay? Just an all-inclusive omnibus bill. One bill. Here's the problem. That $32.5 billion is made up of actually two different things. There's $10 billion set aside for Ukraine. Then there's $22.5 billion set aside for future spending. This is somewhat precautionary spending for COVID. Okay? That's what lawmakers are somewhat balking at the idea of, is providing $22.5 billion on top of this bill to fight COVID. Now, and this, again, these are just the reports that came out today because this week, the Senate's going to be busy. Okay? However, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, he had this to say today. He says, and I quote, "I'm very hopeful and optimistic we will pass the omnibus package with the Ukrainian aid in it by Thursday." Okay. So he says that with the Ukrainian aid in it by Thursday. So according to his statement, he's actually leaving out $22.5 billion for COVID aid. He says the omnibus package with Ukrainian aid. Now, I would assume that Democrats are going to just say, okay, let's get this done. The omnibus bill, let's pass it with the $10 billion of Ukrainian aid. Let's get it done. Because Democrats, and especially President Biden, don't want to be telling their voters, you know what, we tried to get help to Ukraine, but, well, Republicans said no. Because Republicans didn't say no on that. They said, yes, we're all for that. Just not the $22.5 billion. Well, here's the other problem. And this is one of the big problems, is that any additional spending, especially the $22.5 billion of precautionary COVID relief, because this is for future spending, not now. This is money that Republicans and some moderates are saying this could be used for other things. And just today, Senator Joe Manchin made it very clear that inflation is the number one thing that he's worried about. Inflation is the number one thing he's concerned with. He also stated that the new narrowed down version of the Build Back Better Act is very low on his priority list. Extremely low. Okay? He said that the number one priority needs to be inflation and dealing with the war on Ukraine. He also said, okay, that getting your financial house in order is a priority. But then he also added that as far as the trimmed down Build Back Better Act, there's no formal talks going on right now. Now, here's one major problem that Congress has, okay? Well, this is not just Congress. This is Congress, the White House, and the American people. We have to deal with gas prices. This is a major issue, okay? I've been discussing gas prices over the past few days, and it's for a reason. I believe it was Thursday. Maybe it was Friday. I believe it's Friday. Friday gas prices were at $3.83. Yesterday, gas prices were at $3.92. Now my days could be off. And then today, it's currently at $4.02. 19 cents in just a few days. Remember when I told you that gas prices went up 22 cents in just 4 days? Now it went up 19 cents in 3 days? We'll see what happens tomorrow. But if we continue on that path, we are going to be around 26 to 27 cents in just 4 days. That's insane. That is insane. But let me know what it is in your city down in the comment section below. Here where I live, it's like $4 and was it $4.19? I just put some more gas in the cars today just to keep them full. Kind of dollar cost averaging into gas, which isn't a great thing to do, but I am. And so, well, it was like $4.19 just a little bit ago. So we'll see. And according to the Secretary Blinken, this morning he stated that the White House is actually moving in the direction of banning Russian oil imports. Now, here's why this is both a good thing and a bad thing. If any sanction is going to prevent Russia from going into Ukraine, it's going to be banning oil. Okay. Now, just give you an idea. It will not just be the United States that bans it. It would be multiple NATO allies. And Blinken said this morning that they're actually in very active discussions going on right now. Okay, active doesn't mean they're actually moving toward really a positive direction. The discussions are active, and here's the reason why. One thing that you need to keep in mind is it's not just the United States. Okay, if the United States bans Russian oil imports, other NATO allies will do the same. But Secretary Blinken said this morning, and I quote, "We are now talking to our European partners and allies to look in a coordinated way at the prospect of banning the import of Russian oil while making sure there is still an appropriate supply of oil on world markets." So, if you're like me, expect gas prices to jump if this does happen. I am anticipating that with what Russia is doing to Ukraine, this is the next step, is we have to sanction Russian oil. Okay, we have to ban it. So if you expect that a ban is in place, is going to happen, now might be a good time to consider investing into oil. Now, just to give you an idea, okay, on February, I think it was 25th, so after the invasion happened, one of the things that I did, okay, this is just what I did, I actually invested into a 3x leverage oil stock, okay, now, or ETF, right? One of the things you need to keep in mind is, for me personally, I believe that we are heading towards that direction that yes, we are going to have to ban oil, okay, from Russia. But if this happens, it's also going to send prices up. So I'm kind of leveraging my money, which is very risky. But at the same time, when I bought it at like $299 or something like that, it's currently, I believe, $390, or I'm up almost $100 on every single one. So it's turned out to be very good. But if this doesn't happen and this war kind of just goes away, that will ultimately drop back down. Okay, so it's risky, but as of right now, I think it's somewhat of a smart play. Now, again, it's not financial advice. Don't recommend you do it. I'm not actually going to even mention well, you probably find it, but I'm not even going to mention the one that I purchased. But, if you do your research, you would find it. Now, what we do know at this time is that President Biden's advisors are actually planning a trip this spring to Saudi Arabia to try and kind of repair the relations and convince the kingdom to pump more oil. However, and again, I saw a comment on this earlier on today. I wanted to touch on this because the commenter, again, thank you for leaving the comments, but didn't mention the meeting, the planned trip would happen this spring. Here's the problem. We're still, getting into spring. So that means it's not going to happen immediately. But just understand there are still talks and discussions, but even though they may be planning a trip, it's not going to happen quickly. There's probably multiple trips that have to go into this to repair relations. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but that is currently what we know. So here's what I can tell you, just to sum it up. Senator Joe Manchin does not expect to pass the Build Back Better Act or the narrowed down version of it very soon. It's not high on his priority list. as far as the stimulus package, as far as any additional relief to the American people, it's going to be minimal. It will be very targeted, and it probably will not come for multiple months. As far as oil prices, we are going to see them spike. My expectation is we will see gas prices. Again, I think oil per barrel, I think it's like pushing $130 right now. So again, something that you may want to invest into. Don't know, but it's something to consider. Again, not financial advice, but one of the things I can tell you is I would assume gas prices nationally, the average is going to be between $5 and $6 before it somewhat levels off. Okay, I don't think we're going to get to $10. I really hope we don't. But if we do see oil get banned, okay, Russian oil imports get banned, we could see it spike just suddenly, day one, just up. Okay, now if this happens again, one of the things you can do is to invest into oil. Okay, you actually invest into crude itself. Now again, it's not financial advice. Go and talk to somebody, but that's one thing you could do if your gas prices are going up, is to try to make a little bit of money off that. So that's something that I've been doing over the past, well, I've been doing it for a while, but last year it wasn't great, right? I've been made a little bit of money, but not really much to fill the tanks in cars that I have that use a lot of gas. So that's where I'm at right now. But again, as always, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and share all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching again. Hopefully you had a wonderful weekend. Let me know. What did you do? What was one thing that you did that was fun this weekend? Okay? Let me know. I got to spend time with friends and family, so that was fun. But again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.